Hi everyone, I'm Alex Absalom,
And I'm Hannah Absalom.
and we want to share with you today about some creative ideas for how to make the most of being on mission this July 4th.
So basically, so many things have been cancelled. There are going to be no big fireworks displays or public events because public gatherings are banned in the US and I think most places in the world. So we just thought it would be good to come up with some creative ways that we can host a party, but we can be the good news of Jesus. We can create some fun. We can demonstrate the love of Jesus to those we love.
And one of the things that's important to remember is that we need to be people who demonstrate that we're for our neighbours or colleagues, friends, family, and so on. So we need to be ones who are for our neighbours. And one of the ways we can do that is by creating fun events. Sometimes they're just going to be purely social, and others are going to have a bit of spiritual content, but they create great opportunities for extending God's kingdom. So, without further ado, let's jump into our list.
Okay, so the first one is we thought we'd do a front lawn party. So this is what we're thinking we're going to do. So basically super easy. So just outside the front of your home, we're just going to let people know we're going to be outside on this day at this time. If you want to bring a drink, bring a snack, bring a chair, just come and we'll just enjoy some fun time together chatting. We'll also have a little table, we'll provide some extra drinks, some snacks and stuff. But I think often people feel safest bringing their own stuff. And that's fine because basically people just want an excuse to meet real people and chat.
So for all of these, obviously it's important to say, just so you know, you can do it with social distancing. You can be wise and aware about different people's needs. There's going to be a range of opinions within your neighbours, but let's be sensitive to those who need to be more cautious. And you can set it up in a smart way, but still do all these things. So that's the first one, a front lawn
And
drinks party.
just as well, I'm just thinking as well, so we're talking a lot about neighbours here, but interpret neighbours as being
Yes.
your community who Jesus has sent you to. So if it's an extended family, or if it's, other families from the school, or whether it is from a sports team, or from your gym, or colleagues at work, whoever that community is that you feel called to, or just enjoy being with, that's who we mean by neighbours.
Okay, front lawn drinks party. Number 2, organise a street parade. So, one of the delightful things that you Americans love to do on 4th of July is some sort of little parade down the street. Now, what we're talking about here is just a very low-key, think old school, old-fashioned, you just corner off a little bit of a road or perhaps a parking lot or an area in a park or something like that.
Maybe even down the sidewalk, could you do it?
Possibly, it might work a sidewalk if you've got a big sidewalk or if you've got a back alley, or be creative. I mean, but you might have somewhere where there's a road you could just sneakily close off for 15 minutes if it's just a quiet residential place, or a cul-de-sac would be perfect. And what you do is you put the word out. This is particularly good if you know lots of young families, if you're in that kind of social mix, and you say to the kids, decorate your bikes or your scooters or your whatever. You can put on fancy dress, wear red, white and blue, do face paints, whatever, bring flags, and there's going to be a parade. And maybe what's fun to do with that is to have someone with some music at the front of it, patriotic music. You can make a playlist with that. Maybe if you've got a veteran or some veterans, they want to parade, that'd be delightful. Sometimes you might have someone who's got a lovely old car that they could have at the front, or if it's stinky, put it at the back. But you can make a fun thing up that's just very local, it's a bit hokey, but actually it's fun because of that. And you put the word out on the route or just your little neighbourhood, and you say, hey, we're going to be doing this thing. It's going to be 9:30 a.m. Saturday morning, and come out and cheer. And just bring your lawn chairs. It's just going to be 15 minutes of fun and jolliness in our community. And what we suggest you might do is at the end have a space where you're going to end, perhaps have the American flag there. You might want to play the national anthem or something like that. And then just have a little space for some social time and drinks and snacks or whatever. Kids love that stuff, candy.
Yeah. The third one we thought we'd think about is a socially distant picnic or barbecue or something like that. So, I mean, what you could do is you could tell everybody, bring your food, bring your drinks, just come and we'll be in this location, so whether it's front yards or it's a park or whatever it is, at this particular time. Bring your tables, bring your chairs, bring all your food, and we're going to basically gather and we're going to celebrate a meal together, whether it's lunch, whether it's dinner, maybe have a couple of games, whatever, but have some time eating together and enjoying each other's company.
Number 4 is organise a prayer for your nation, prayer for our nation time. So this would be a great weekend to do that. And you put the word out to your neighbours, and you say, we're going to gather for 10-15 minutes outdoors. Again, a front lawn is an ideal location for that, or if you have something similar, perhaps a community meeting space, it's outside, whatever. And say, we're going to gather and we're going to pray for our nation. Doesn't matter where you are spiritually. If you'd like to do this, then come join us. And in the notes that go with this post, we're going to write up a bunch of ideas that you can include there. But basically, the aim is you make it a space where people perhaps can share ideas. You have a few categories. So obviously, coronavirus and COVID, I think it'd be appropriate to be praying into a lot of the kind of tensions that have been going on in our nation in the past month or so since the death of George Floyd. So that would be an important area to pray for our leaders. And there might be something else, one or two other areas you want to pray for. We recommend starting with thankfulness because it sets a tone and a posture rather than being all negative, which can be the problem, and end with some sort of blessing. So we've put some ideas down there. You can, obviously, you're going to have ideas of your own. They're just there to help fuel your thinking process. But we've done a number of prayer gatherings in the past few months, and it's amazing who will turn up to those. So we'd encourage you to try that.
And people are just more spiritually open and desperate to pray for this country because they know that stuff needs to change and happen.
Great, yeah.
The next thing is basically organise some sort of games event for your community. So whether it's sort of adult games, whether it's kids games, obviously done in a socially distant way outside. But so you could do sort of street chalking, so whether it's hopscotch or we've been in situations where friends have organised for their kids. They're like little fun things you've got to do. So you've got to hop 3 times or, follow this squiggly line or whatever it is. So various chalk activities, or you could do your cornhole game, or you could do old-fashioned things from when we were on, like musical statues, musical bumps, which you can have the music playing and lots of distance going on, but lots of fun, or a dance-off, or some sort of treasure hunt or quiz in the neighbourhood, or there's lots of fun games that you could do, charades. So for all ages, but it's just an excuse to have some fun and get together and let your hair down a bit, but in a socially distant way.
Wonderful, that'll be lots of fun. And the last one is, what about doing a 4th fire pit? So in other words, you'd say to some friends, and this would probably work better if you just got a small number of people you want to connect with, maybe another household or something like that. You don't want to have tons of people, but you would create a space where you gather around the fire pit, and you can do drinks, you can do s'mores, you've got to do that, a proper Americana, 4th of July, all that stuff. And you meet and you gather, and you might even say to everyone, hey, if you think about it, maybe bring a story or an experience that illustrates for you what it's like living in America. And it might be funny, it might be profound, it might be quick, it might be deep, up to people. That's all part of the pleasure of being together and sharing stories. So that's a great thing to do. Now, if you don't have a fire pit, we've included a link to, I think it's 14 different ways you can make fire pits. Some obviously are go and buy a thing, and there's some cool ideas out there. Some are properly you're going to have fun looking at them. There's one which is actually, somehow, if you can get hold of an old shopping trolley, you could turn that into a portable fire pit.
Goodness.
And there's everything in between. So you could set fire to a tire on your front lawn if you want to do that. So, but there's lots of things you could do, even if it's just a one-off. So have a play with that. But that's a great way just to kind of because we can't do fireworks, but something about being, evening time around the fire pit, which is really conducive to conversation and building relationships.
So basically, we want to encourage you to just think missionally. How can you just do something fun with your neighbours to celebrate with them? But by doing those fun and low-key things, all sorts of conversation and opportunities arise, whether it's over 4th of July or down the line. So think about one of those activities, or let those activities just spark other ideas in you as you think about it yourself or chat with your household or neighbours. And come up with some ideas and do something. And
if you've got other ideas that you're going to do or have done, please head over to our website, dandelionresourcing.com, and under this blog, post them there. And we'd love to hear from you, and also let us know what things you're going to actually do. If you're going to commit to something, then feed that back as well. But anyway,
So
I think that's all.
God bless you and have fun.